there, welcome to the Dragon's Den. I'm Sky Haggis. I'm the author of Puck's Choice. Today I have my November book haul. I have a lot of books today, and by a lot I mean a lot. Like, you can't see anything right now, but my table right now is currently covered in books. So the first book I have is the first one of the two I forgot from the October book haul, and that is The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. It's a thin little classic book that I've never read before and I've always wanted to read. I'm trying to broaden my classic taste, so Time Machine, H.G. Wells, gotta love it. Next one is a book, the movie I've seen before and I love the movie, and I've always wanted to read the book, and that's Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm sorry if I am. I'm horrible with names. You've heard me say this on videos before if you've watched any of them. So I'm sorry, but those two books, Time Machine and Confessions of a Shopaholic, were ones I got in October actually. So that's those two. The rest of them are all actually November books, and as I said before, a lot of them were free, and a lot of them were just building up series that I already have started, sorta. You'll see what I mean in a second. So the first book I have is book 3 of the Wheel of Time series, The Dragon Reborn by Robert Jordan. I have read the first 2 books of this series. I absolutely love them. I don't have either of them right now. I borrowed them from my parents and read them and loved them, but now I'm starting to build the collection on my own, and I've got this collection started by getting book 3, book 4 from the Wheel of Time series, The Shadow Rising, also by Robert Jordan. I don't have book 5, but I have book 6, Lord of Chaos. Book 7, Crown of Swords. Book 8, Path of Daggers. Book 9, Winter's Heart. Book 10, Crossroads of Twilight. And book 11, Knife of Dreams. Now, this series is a fantasy series set in another world. Like I said, I've read the first 2 books, but it's been a really long time, so I'm gonna need to get the first 2 and read them again before I finish the rest of the series, because, well, I have the rest of the series now, for the most part. There's like, I think, somewhere between 13 and 15 books in the series, and actually the last couple are not just by Robert Jordan, but by also Brandon Sanderson, because the author Robert Jordan died, but he left enough notes that another author was able to complete the series, and Brandon Sanderson was the best choice. He took over writing the books, and from what I've heard, he did a phenomenal job. So I can't wait to read the rest of it and see what he has come up with for the rest of the series. So those are those. I've also started reading the popular series Song of Fire and Ice, which the TV show Game of Thrones is based off of, and I have Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin, as well as A Storm of Swords. These 2 are also from a fantasy series. I like fantasy. A lot of the books I've done on hauls have been classics or YA, but my first and true love is fantasy, and that's, I got my fantasy fix. The next few books are by Terry Goodkind. They're from a series that I'm not reading currently, but my husband is, so which is the reason I got them. That is Pillars of Creation. I don't even remember the name of the actual series, so...
Sword of Truth.
Okay, if you heard that, that was my husband. He said the series is called Sword of Truth. He's got the first 2, and I don't even know what order these go in. Don't ask. I don't know. They don't say on the side. So there's Pillars of Creation, Naked Empire, Chainfire, Faith of the Fallen, and Soul of the Fire. And someday I'll probably read this series too, because it's fantasy, and as I just said, I love my fantasy. The next few books that were free were also ones that I've kind of sort of fallen in love with-ish. You'll see what I mean. The first one is The Lost World by Michael Crichton. It's got a shiny symbol right here. Don't know if you can see it that well, but this is shiny, so my camera doesn't like it. Yeah. The next few are oh, sorry, I got two more that are fiction. This is from the Morning Star Strain series, and it's by Z.A. Recht, if I'm pronouncing it right. Recht. I don't know. And it's Plague of the Dead. It's a zombie novel. Then I also have Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I actually want to see the Broadway show. If I went to New York, I do not want to go to New York. I have no desire to go to New York. But if I did go to New York, I would not leave without seeing Wicked on Broadway. The next few were free ones I got that are nonfiction that I got for reasons, the various reasons. The first one is The Complete Conspiracy Reader. That from the deaths of JFK and John Lennon to government-sponsored alien cover-ups. It is compiled by Al Hidell and Joan Dark, editors of Paranoia magazine. I actually have no experience with conspiracy theories at all, like none. The only conspiracy theories I've heard have been from Dr. Hodgins on Bones, which tells you a whole heck of a lot about the conspiracy theories I've heard. So I just wanted to get this to read up on some conspiracy theories. Not a conspiracy theorist at all. Not at all. The next one's going to help me with novel writing is Medieval Civilization 400 to 1500 by Jacques Le Goff. So it's a nonfiction about medieval times, which will help me when I start really world building Altera for the Altera series, which you'll hear me talk about eventually someday. The next one is more for my children when they start looking into this stuff and learning stuff, and it's The Human Body. It's so big I can't even fit it in the whole screen. Oh my goodness. Let's go this way. Yeah, it's a big book about the human body. Self-explanatory. So that's those. The last few were not free. They were ones I actually paid for. Some of them are classics, most of them are YA or paranormal romance. And the first one I have is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I've wanted to see the movie for years. I've never seen it, never read it. I wanted to read the book first to find out so I can do a compare and contrast kind of thing. So I finally have the book. It's actually a lot shorter than I thought it was, so hopefully when I actually sit down and read it won't take me too long to read. And then I can watch the movies. The original first, and then the new one with Leonardo DiCaprio, because I want to see the original first. The next one I have is Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm sorry. I love the Disney movie. I know that the book is completely different, especially in the ending, so I wanted to see it. Read it, and now I have it so I can read it. The next couple are from the Disenchanted and Company novel series. The first one, and they're by Lynn Vale, and it's Clockwork Wolf. And of course, Disenchanted and Company. Disenchanted and Company is the first one, and then The Clockwork Wolf is the second one. So that's a new series. It's kind of supposed to be a steampunkish paranormal romance kind of thing, and I'm looking forward to reading it. I've read a couple books by Lynn Vale in the past, but this is a series I hadn't even heard of until I saw it on the shelf and decided to give it a try. And this is another series by Lynn Vale, that I haven't read, and maybe I've only read some of her shorter pieces because I don't recognize this series either. But this is from the Kindred series, and it is Shadowlight and Dreamvale. I can't remember which one comes first, whether it's Shadowlight or Dreamvale, but it's the first two in the series. I do know that much. The next book is a series. There are two books from the series, The Raven Cycle, which I've heard a lot about from various YouTubers in the past, and I wanted to give it a try myself. And the ones I have are The Raven Boys. Look at that cover, isn't it pretty? Shiny. Ooh. Sorry. And the next one I have is The Dream Thieves. So we'll see how those books go. I'm kind of interested to see how they work. Now, if you've read my blog, not necessarily watched this channel, but read my blog, you'll know I have an obsession with Cthulhu. Major obsession, even though I haven't even read Call of Cthulhu yet. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. If you watched any of my past videos where I did a haul with the Necronomicon, which is about this thick and 1,000 pages long, you'll know I'm working my way towards Call of Cthulhu. And I want to read Call of Cthulhu before I read any other Call of Cthulhu related stories, and I have a whole bunch in my inventory, including my newest one, Awoken, by Sarah Ellenson. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's supposed to be a YA paranormal romance about Cthulhu. So I'm looking forward to reading this once I read Call of Cthulhu. The next one is from the Lunar Chronicles. It's the first book, Cinder, by Melissa Meyer. I've been wanting to read this book for years, since I first heard about it from another YouTube video, and now I have it, so now I can read it, and we'll see how it goes. The next book is a book by an author I really admire. I've read articles by him, I've read a couple short stories by him, and everything I've read by him I love, but I've never read any of his actual novels, and that is Neil Gaiman. Gaiman? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I probably am. I'm bad with names. Everyone talks about Coraline, and while I've seen the movie and I thought it was dark, and I know his writing is darker, I have never read the book. But the one that interested me the most was the one that I've got now. I finally found a copy of it, and it's The Graveyard Book. I went on Amazon one day and just read the first couple pages using the look inside feature. Oh my god, guys. So far it's amazing. I'm not completely reading it yet. I'm kind of on other books right now. I'm reading like 5 books right now. But that is definitely going to be one I read, and I'm looking forward to reading, actually. The last book of this haul that I've got to show you is a book that is supposed to be another retelling of Alice in Wonderland. Excuse me, sorry. It's supposed to be another retelling of Alice in Wonderland. However, it's told in the perspective that, as in Alice in Wonderland was a bedtime story to Alice Liddell from Lewis Carroll, which in this book series is the great-great-great-grandmother of the main character, Alyssa Gardner. So, the book is Splintered by A.G. Howard, and if I'm understanding the description correctly, Alyssa is supposed to become the Red Queen of Wonderland. So, I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be kind of interesting to see where it goes and see how it turns out, and see whether she actually becomes the Red Queen or if I was misinterpreting stuff I read. But that's all the books I got today. There's a lot of books. There's 35, including the 2 from October, and it's just a lot of books. So if you've read any of these, let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what you thought of them, whether or not they're good. If you have any interest in reading them, let me know that too, I guess. I don't know. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.